You know how the right wing has CPAC? That's their conference every year that the media covers like it's the most important event. They love CPAC, the media does, the mainstream media. Oh my God, the right wing, they're so exciting and interesting. We want to cover everything. Now, Politico writes an article today as if there is no left-wing CPAC, but there is, it's Netroots Nation. There are many progressive conferences, but the biggest one and the one that brings together the grassroots activists is Netroots Nation. But Politico writes the article, never mentions them. Why? Because they're not steeped in money. They're not drowning in corruption. And they're left-wing. Oh, the media, the mainstream media, they hate the left wing. You're gonna do some sort of protest, not gonna cover it. You're gonna get arrested because you have a conscience and you wanna fight back, you wanna resist, not gonna cover it, okay? Now look, they do the protest against Trump, they cover that because they don't like Trump. Trump's not part of the establishment, right? Now, Trump is a rich guy, also bathed in corruption, etc. But at least they feel like he's an outsider. So if you're protesting him, we'll cover it. But if you're left wing otherwise, no, that's Netroots Nation. I mean, Netroots Nation gets about 1% of the coverage that CPAC gets. So now the establishment Democrats have decided, oh, I do declare we should have our own conference because it doesn't exist. It does exist. Anyway, Center for American Progress that is led by Neera Tanden, used to be led by John Podesta. You might remember that name. Podesta, of course, was the chairman of Hillary Clinton's campaign. Neera Tanden, a close ally of Hillary Clinton. They've decided that they're going to put together the left-wing version of CPAC, and they say it's going to be called the Ideas Conference. Ooh, can't wait to see what their ideas are. Can I guess their ideas are going to be everything is fine, let's keep the status quo, and let me show you a bunch of Democratic politicians and not invite any real strong progressives. Okay, let's find out. Politico writes about it. Democratic Senators Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, Cory Booker of New Jersey, Kamala Harris of California, Chris Murphy of Connecticut, and Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, Montana Governor Steve Bullock, and Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti are all confirmed to attend, and more expected to be added to the event scheduled for May 16th. So this is now, they got this from Center for American Progress. That means this is what they are bragging about. Did you see any progressive activists on that list? At best, an afterthought. They're like, oh, look at our politician friends. We got a bunch of our politician friends to show up. Oh, Cory Booker's gonna be there. Now, yes, Elizabeth Warren will speak. I'm sure that they're not so outrageously stupid as not to bring Bernie Sanders. I'm sure Bernie Sanders will speak, and because he's become their mascot now. The guys who hated him when it mattered, now that it doesn't matter anymore, they're like, oh, Bernie Sanders, our beloved friend Bernie Sanders, of course. So I'm sure that they'll add him to the list. He's not on there now. But did you see any of the strong progressive fighters? Did you see any online activists, any grassroots people on that list? The sound of silence. Okay. They explain, Politico does, several other big players, including CAP, that's the Center for American Progress, the Super PAC Priorities USA Action, David Brock's collection of organizations, the National Democratic Redistricting Committee, backed by Barack Obama and Eric Holder, and even the Democratic National Committee itself have been trying to stake their claims on guiding the efforts against the administration. In other words, don't worry, we got this, we're gonna fight against Trump, and these are the groups that are doing it. Did you see any actual progressive groups on there? Did you see any grassroots groups? Did you see any activist groups? Not a one, not a one. Because in Washington, the establishment is the only thing that matters. Priorities USA, they have money. They have money. The only thing that matters, money, money, money. Center for American Progress, those are all the people we run into in the cocktail circuit. They're so lovely and they have money. They're never gonna get it, guys. They're never gonna get it. What ideas? What ideas? Those establishment groups don't have any ideas. There won't be any ideas at this conference. And then Tom Perez, the new head of the DNC. Look, I want to give him a chance. And so maybe he'll turn it around. But let me give you his quote first. He says, over the next few weeks and months, I will be working with the new DNC leadership to make sure the DNC is the focal point in bringing progressives together and translating this momentum into a movement and earning votes for Democrats up and down the ballot. Now, he was picked by the same group, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton's people, the lobbyists, etc., right? So now, that doesn't mean that you should have a closed mind, you should have an open mind towards Tom Perez, and of course the proof will be in the pudding, and let's see what he does. Maybe he exposes all the money that the consultants are getting and actually brings in grassroots activism, and they actually knock on doors, which is a winning strategy, and don't waste billions of dollars on television advertising, which is a losing strategy that their consultant friends use to get really, really rich. But we'll see, okay? But are they actually going to share ideas? So far, they got till May. So far, nothing about sharing. So when they say unity, they don't mean, hey, let's have a conversation, let's share these ideas, and then let's see what comes out of it, and then we'll do unity afterwards. No, they mean unity as in bow your head. You will unify behind us. Okay, we could put it to the test right now. Look, we have unity on the left. Progressives almost universally agree. The Bernie Sanders campaign platform is very similar to the Just Democrats platform, brand new Congress, obviously our revolution, and the list goes on and on. Almost all the progressive activists agree to that platform. Are you in? By the way, a huge pillar of that is stop taking money from corporations and PACs and doing what those corporations want. Do you agree to that? No, you don't agree to that. So why don't you unify behind us? Get behind us. We have the real voters. We have the real audience. Sanders has a giant email list. You like that list, right? You want the list, but you won't do what it takes to get the list. You just want the money. How about, they keep saying like, I got called over the weekend. They're like, oh, David Brock is trying to start the Breitbart of the left. Do you know of any progressive media? We have 80 million unique viewers. Breitbart is a pimple on our ass. Nope, I don't see it. I wonder where the progressive voters are. I wonder where the progressive media is. I don't know, I don't have any ideas. I asked all my buddies in Washington and they didn't have any ideas either. You don't want to share ideas. You don't want unity. You want compliance. The answer to that, and I'm being polite here, is hell no. Now let me see some speakers there that are actually going to share ideas, and let me see you actually listen to them, then we'll have a conversation. But you're not gonna do any of that. Yes, after receiving pressure, you will then invite Nina Turner, I hope, okay, and a couple other people, and then you'll go, okay, I did it, it's good enough, it's good enough. It's all window dressing. Do you think they're gonna invite fire breathers? People who actually want change, who want to do something? No, it's so impolite, it's so impolite. And we don't want to ruffle too many Republican feathers, and our consultant friends in DC, they will abhor those speeches. No, they're gonna keep out the real progressives, largely speaking, except for some people they're gonna get to point to and go, okay, here, there's a couple of people I brought for you. And then when we say, no, you didn't really have an exchange of ideas, they'll go, there's no appeasing these guys. We had 2 or 3 of them sandwiched between the 48 of our friends who are all pro-corporate, and they're still not appeased. What are we gonna do? If you have the haughty demands and you assume that we should follow you, well, I will match you. You should follow us. JusticeDemocrats.com, you can look up our platform. Like I said, brand new Congress, our revolution. You could follow our lead. Why do the voters have to follow you? You should follow the voters. The corporate media has multi-million-dollar anchors. We have you guys. Go to tytnetwork.com/go and you can help hire investigative reporters that'll do real journalism.